My name is Chelisea, and I'm a study abroad advisor at UW-Stout in the Office of International Education. Today, I am excited to host a virtual information session to highlight a very successful repeat program that will take you to Scandinavia in summer 2021. You'll hear from the faculty leader, Mary Spaeth, who ran the program in 2018 and 19, as well as students who previously went on the program. Now I'll turn it over to Professor Spaeth to tell you more about it.
Hi, it's great to talk to all of you about this program and to have some of the former students who traveled with us coming along to share their experiences. This is a pretty exciting program that I'll say is called this year Entrepreneurship and Innovation. It's a part of BUMGT 380, which is a principles class for entrepreneurship and innovation. But we have a specific theme of gamification and technology, because Sweden is a big producer of games such as Minecraft, Unravel, Battlefield series, Candy Crush, Year Walk, Just Cause, and a lot of others that you may know about. Sweden's also the home to a lot of innovations, inventors, entrepreneurs. And coming out of Sweden, for example, includes the 3-point seat belt, the zipper, dynamite, Celsius, Bluetooth, ball bearings, styrofoam, Tetra Pak packaging, that's maybe good for you, Kayla, and even the ring binder and plastic shopping bags. A lot of people don't know that comes from this little country of 10 million people. The course is intended to expose students to innovation and entrepreneurship in Scandinavia while immersing them in a new culture. We'll be traveling to 6 cities plus Copenhagen in Denmark, meeting people, attending classes, visiting corporations, enjoying nature, hiking, kayaking, bicycling, visiting possibly to ruins, to old ships, and writing journals the entire way. So it's an exciting trip, and hope you'll join us.
And I did want to add just quickly, Mary, with the travel dates, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that although the travel dates are May 13th through the 30th, the students should expect to complete some post-travel assignments through June 6th. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Like any course, and for a 3-credit course, you have to be in a classroom for a certain length of time. Faculty-led trips abroad, of course, we don't want you in a classroom all the time. The country is your classroom. The experiences are your lessons and your readings. For this particular class, we work with a business journal, especially since last year, and it worked really well. And students reflect each day on their experiences, respond to a number of questions that are prompted to build this into what's technically known as a business journal, not just a personal journal, although there's an opportunity for some personal reflection. And we spend 5 or 6 evenings during the course of the entire trip, 15 days abroad, 16 days, where you'll be able to talk about those reflections with each other, whether it's over a snack or coffee, late evening, or middle of the afternoon. So yes, and then at the end, when you come back, you'll translate that journal. You'll have a week to translate that journal into a full piece that you can turn in that's formal, with pictures and updates and corrections and things like that.
Okay, great. I wanted to also just touch briefly on cost, since I know that's something that students often ask about. And I did want to note that the cost that you'll see on that slide, it covers tuition and fees, airfare, local transportation, accommodation, cultural events and activities, which Mary has planned some great ones, and some of your meals. And it also includes out-of-pocket expenses such as airline baggage fees, meals on your own, and spending money for souvenirs. So it does cover a lot. And now we're going to hear from students, and one of the things we'll touch on is some tips on the financial aspect of studying abroad. So thank you, Professor Spaeth. We're going to move on now to hear from students who can actually speak about this program from their own experience. So I want to thank Franny, Nate, and Kayla for joining us. Franny, can we start with you? What made you choose to go on this program in particular?
Of course, so I chose to go on this program because I'm Swedish and I've always wanted to travel there. And since I've never been abroad, I knew Professor Spaeth would be a great travel guide since she has been to Sweden so many times, and she put a lot of time and effort into planning this study abroad. And I was also able to complete my business plan capstone course as well. So I was able to complete 2 courses through this study abroad. So I found that very beneficial as well.
Oh, that's great. Nate, what about you?
Yeah, I would just say that my entrepreneurial spirit, and with meeting Mary and just seeing the enthusiasm she had for the country really began to spark my interest in international travel overall. As a psychology major, I was just getting into the topic of gamification and just what makes it so enticing. And so the program in general just began to speak to me, and decided that it was something worth exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. The faculty leader is key, and Professor Spaeth has such a deep, connection to that area, and I'm sure that added to how rich the experience was. Kayla, can I ask you, what was your favorite place or your favorite activity that was included in the program?
Yeah, so I would say my favorite place was definitely Stockholm. Being in a city of that size and seeing how it functions, and the bike paths, they literally have a roadway for bikes, which is super cool. The cobblestone streets, the food, the amount of people, the museums. Stockholm was definitely my favorite.
Absolutely. Next, the question I want to ask is for all of you, actually. Let's start with Franny, though. How do you think you benefited from the program academically or professionally or personally?
So academically, it was my first time going abroad, so it taught me more about culture and the Swedish lifestyle overall, especially traveling to so many different cities. And professionally, I think that studying abroad has really broadened my horizons. And Europe is full of innovation, and I'm glad that I was able to experience that prior to starting a full-time job after graduating. I think that was very beneficial and really opening up my own mind going into business as well. And then personally, I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I would go again tomorrow if I could.
Let's do it.
What about you, Kayla?
Yeah, so this trip was very eye-opening for me as well. Professionally, this trip really opened my eyes to entrepreneurship, and it kind of sparked an entrepreneurial spirit in me that I didn't know there was. So that was kind of a cool experience for me. And then after this trip, Mary and I actually worked together to start the Entrepreneurship Club at Stout, which was so exciting. It's still functioning, so please join. But also, it was a huge talking point in my interview process when I was interviewing for the job I currently have, to be able to talk about my experiences that I had, the relationships that I built, the things that I got to see. Traveling teaches you a lot personally and professionally. So any chance that you get to travel, I would say do it. And this is a funny experience, actually, that I got to have. I was wearing a helmet that was invented that you wear around your neck. And when your bike is about to crash, it explodes on your head. And I got to experience this in front of everybody. So, but just little experiences like that, I mean, it's great. This isn't an everyday thing. So take it when you have the chance, take it.
Well, just to add to your point, actually only 11% of undergraduate students nationwide study abroad. So if you're thinking about how many students are out there sending out their resumes, trying to get a job, one great way to set yourself apart is to study abroad and then be able to talk about all the ways you grew in that experience. Nate, I wanted to ask you how you benefited from the program.
Of course. So just being in such an unfamiliar environment was something that really grew myself, and I believe all of my peers that were on the trip, personally and professionally, just because we had to figure out how to navigate our free time, just being able to explore and find some food. But along with that, sometimes you do get a little bit tired going on these trips because there's so much adventure that is full, and your days are just packed with exciting and new opportunities. So again, it really just grew our professional and personal characteristics by really challenging our communication skills, engaging with a bunch of strangers from across the ocean as we did some market research, as we wanted to continue to perfect our business model. And again, just being in such an unfamiliar environment, it was truly just inspiring to our education and to just the betterment of all of the students and myself. So I think the personal and professional benefits were just immense.
Absolutely. When you're talking about that, I mean, it's those soft skills that really help set you apart. There's so many students out there that are, graduating maybe with your same major, but if you have developed these very unique intercultural skills and communication skills and an entrepreneurial spirit, it definitely can help set you apart to be able to get that job that you want. Kayla, I wanted to ask you, I know for many students, going on a program like this one may mean their first time traveling internationally. So I just wanted to ask if you have any advice for other Stout students who might be a little bit apprehensive.
Yeah, I would say first time doing anything is scary. Your first time at a new job is scary. Your first time going to college is scary. All of these things are scary. But the experiences that you have once you get over your fear are going to way surpass the fear that you had initially. So if you're scared, that's okay. It's almost expected, but don't let it hold you back. You should still do it.
Great, thanks. I know another concern that many students have is about cost, that maybe they feel like they can't afford a program like this. Nate, what would you say to that?
Just that the 2 weeks that you are on this adventure is easily a semester at least of learning, just from the personal growth, as I mentioned before, along with just the rigorous of the academia that you do and the introduction to so many brilliant minds across the country is amazing, that it really pays for itself when you're in a job interview or when you are job searching in general, in the sense that it's so much knowledge, so much experience, just stuffed into 2 weeks, that it is without a doubt worth making it work financially.
Thanks. Kayla, what about you? What would you say?
Yeah, I seriously think it is an investment in yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, me personally being able to talk about my experience studying abroad and how that led to starting a club and leading and, all of these things, it was a huge talking point in my interview. And I think that many others that have studied abroad would agree that if you study abroad, it's always talked about in your interviews. So, companies love to hear that. So yes, the finances are can be a little scary, but they work out. It's something that's going to work itself out. So don't let it hold you back.
Thanks. And also I want to share that on our website is there on the slide, that we have a bunch of different resources for financing study abroad, from financial aid to scholarships to crowdfunding. So please check that out. To wrap up, let's see, Nate, do you have a funny or meaningful experience that you could share?
Yeah, something that just kind of really reinforced the fact that I made the right decision when I decided to travel this program was months before I had any idea about the program or very much any interest in traveling abroad. I was browsing the internet and I came across some really cool and just innovative art. And 3 months later, I am down at the Swedish Academy for Realistic Art in Simrishamn, and lo and behold, the artist behind it, we just kind of crossed paths and started chit-chatting, and we hung out for a few days. We would do the activities at the academy, and then just to continue to chat. And even recently, so a few years later, I've still reached out to them because I've talked about the art that they've done as they drew for Magic, the Gathering, which is a card game. And, you know, I told staff that I've met one of the artists behind some of those pieces, and they were just jaw dropped. I told them that any opportunity they get to go international and study and learn and grow is definitely an experience that they should pursue. So it was just kind of serendipitous, just kept to the stars, and really just reinforced the fact that, you know, I made the right choice, and that everybody, if they can, should make the choice to travel internationally.
Wow, really cool. Well, I think that's all the time we have, but thank you so much to Professor Spaeth, Franny, Nate, and Kayla for joining us. And I hope that you'll learn more and apply by going to uwstout.edu/study abroad or uwstout.studioabroad.com. Thanks.
Thank you.